Okay, I guess we're gonna record on the cloud. Um,
In the
Aloha
cloud.
Sprinklerinos.
Is this gonna be like our thing now? I don't like it.
We're just gonna steal Sprinkle of Glitter's entire
I just bit myself on the thumb.
brand. Anyway, what's up?
Let's do a little ASMR because I'm gonna crack my Pepsi real quick. Because you should know by now I have an unhealthy addiction. I can't give the pop. The three things I can't live without in this world is refried beans, Pepsi, and queso.
Truly. Scientologist. Woo-hoo.
Scientology is way out of the realm of believability.
It honestly is, and like I don't know why people still like buy into that shit.
In my personal opinion, I believe in aliens, but I personally believe that aliens don't want to fuck with us. I feel like aliens have too much valuable time to give any shit about what we're doing.
Especially after like the whole January 6th situation, they're just like, no, no.
What
Where
happened on January 6th?
January 6th of last year.
What happened? Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Were you living under a rock? Or
No, I just don't care to think about those things.
oh. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Ciara chewing directly into the microphone. And us
Bitches, this is dinner time for me. You gotta deal with me multitasking.
as of recording this, it is Super Bowl Sunday. I don't care about any of that.
Who's even
But
playing?
the only thing I know is that the Buccaneers are apparently playing.
I only care if the Chiefs are playing, then I could be like, whoa, that's the team from my state. Otherwise, I could not care less.
Huh.
What, did the
Buccan
Chiefs play twice or something? I don't know. The Chiefs were Super Bowl champions like 1 year.
I don't even know where the Buccaneers are like based. Like the fuck is
Florida,
that?
I think. Tampa Bay.
Oh, makes sense.
I think I
Why
could double check.
I know nothing about them. Um
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, isn't that in Florida?
yes, Tampa Bay is in Florida.
Isn't there multiple teams from Florida? Jackson
um
Jaguars?
Miami something Jackson,
Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins. How about them Dolphins, eh?
The only thing I know about the Dolphins is Ace Ventura.
The only thing I know about Dolphins is that if you are not gay, then you know everything about the Dolphins, according to the birdcage.
Do you know anything about, have you ever seen Ace Ventura? Pet
um,
Detective?
I saw the one where he was like in the woods and then the tribe was like trying to attack him.
Oh, that's the other one. The one I'm talking about is he, goes around Florida trying to rescue Snowflake, the Miami Dolphins dolphin. And that's the entire movie.
Oh my god.
It's a pretty good movie. Jim Carrey is everything. He's hilarious. Gotta stretch up my headband here because it does not look good. Does my hair look okay without the headband?
Yeah, it looks okay.
I'm just trying to look like a normal person because anyone who knows if I get slightly sick or just feel bad in any capacity, I go into full like debilitation. I had my dog over this weekend. I just found out I'm allergic to her, and I'm having the worst fucking time handling it.
What a way to find out that you're allergic to the dog that you've had for many years. Um,
Granted, it is my parents' dog, and I lived with my parents for a while, but she never slept with me. So it's not like I spent a shit ton of time around her. But the last time she came over, I was already sick, and then I felt worse. And then I felt perfectly fine. Then she comes over, and I feel like crap. So I'm like, shit, I might be allergic to this dog.
it's like, oh, this is Lily's fault.
Because all the dogs I've had before just happen to be hypoallergenic.
Yeah, like Tucker, he had hair, not fur.
Yeah, so it wasn't like anyone else had dog allergies. I think it's just me. And they just Lily's just kind of the first, because we used to buy like one breed of dog. It was called a Brussels Griffon, because my aunt was a breeder for a long time of these dogs. So we often had these dogs around, and we bred them as well. Like we had a few litters, and that's where Tucker came from. So Lily's kind of the first dog we've gotten outside of the family, in quotations. Like, she just happens to be the first dog we've gotten that has fur, I guess. She sheds like a motherfucker for being a boxer. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't think short hair dogs are supposed to like shed a lot, are they?
No, but like Labradors and boxers shed like too much.
Mm.
Ooh. I just got refried beans on my setup.
Anyway, for today's episode, we couldn't think of anything.
But
So
tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So
Let's tell everyone about our love prospects.
oh yeah, I'm single as fuck. I've been single as fuck for my entire life, and I hate it every single second of it.
I am also single, but this has been about 3 or 4 years. At the beginning of college I had a really bad boyfriend, and ever since then I haven't, because that sounds awful. So I'm the resident sleut of our friendship.
Yeah,
Even though I'm not that like slutty, I'm just the only one that's not a virgin.
she's just the one who talks about it like all
Because I
the
know.
time. Yes,
You do too.
I talk about like wanting to not be a virgin. Meanwhile, you're talking about like, oh, this guy.
That is not a story I'm willing to tell at this point in time.
We will cut that story out. But yeah,
Subscribe to our Patreon and maybe I'll tell it.
yes, yeah, follow our Patreon, and then she will tell every single detail of that story.
But I am also single, have been for years. I've had a few moments that we were just like, nah, fam, like no big deal. Mm-hmm. There is a boy that I've been interested in that I might go on a date with soon. He's a nice guy. We've talked on the phone a few times. He's a nice guy.
Nice.
I keep my options open. Because my relationship with Diego Luna is going very well.
Oh yeah. How is Diego, by the way?
He started showing up on my Instagram. Like, I really enjoyed Dirty Dancing Havana Nights, and I took a moment for self-love and decided to purchase the movie instead of rent it, so I have it on my Amazon forever. Comfort movies for the win.
By the way, Ciara, why don't you tell the audience about how you already have it on DVD, yet you just bought it today?
Right as I take a bite. I do in fact own the DVD. One moment.
Mm-hmm. She has it on standby for every occasion.
Like Katya in with Contact. Mine is Dirty Dancing Havana Nights. But today, I wanted it to watch it. So, instead of walking 20 feet to my office to grab it off my DVD case and take it back into my living room to watch it, I decided to buy it for $5 on Amazon.
Well, it's not a bad price for such an amazing movie.
So this is like my mint condition copy that I keep for collector's reasons, obviously. Look how mint it is.
It's very good.
I also got this at a thrift store for like $2 or $3, so.
Nice.
I love Diego Luna, I'm sorry.
Anyway.
He's been showing up on my Instagram now. But, because like, I don't express any interest towards him in terms of like in terms of people on social media to be able to find it and like track it to me and like give it to me, like that personalized experience that social media does. Mm-hmm. So I'll be just like scrolling, because I do the thing on Instagram where I go to my explore page and see a post that I like and just start scrolling through that related posts, and then all of a sudden I'm on like eyeliner videos, and then there's Diego Luna. I'm like, what is going on?
Instagram really came for your throat with your daddy issues.
Shut up. The guy I'm interested in is almost 30 years old.
Oh, jeez.
I'm 24.
I know, but like...
He's 29.
You couldn't find anybody that was like... Then again, I shouldn't be judging. Never mind. If it's
my other option is 19, so...
Oh, no. Good for you taking on 30-year-old then.
I mean, Diego was 18 years older than me.
True.
He was a
Callum
full-ass adult when I was born.
Callum is 4 years older than me, and I would so hit that.
Callum is like maybe 2 years older than me. Luke is only a year older.
Oh yeah, you were born 98.
7.
97?
Yeah, 97.
Luke was born in 97.
Pretty sure he was born in 96.
No, I swear I'm not going crazy. Luke Hemmings. Shit. July 16th, 1996.
Winner.
All right. Quit with the braggadocio.
I haven't started yet. Oh no, there goes
Goes
Mr.
Mr.
Braggadocio.
Braggadocio. Next thing you know, you're lying like Pinocchio. If scared of the bulls, stay out the rodeo. I got more hoes than a phone book to Tokyo.
I feel like in that lyric change, he could have picked anyone else but Tiger Woods. He could have picked like any rich person.
He could have picked like any. He could have picked Niall. He's a golfer. He's a good golfer.
Ooh, that burned. Do you ever like take a good swig of a carbonated drink and it just like whoo all the way down?
Oh no, I hate carbonated drinks.
What the fuck?
I hate like the burning of the carbon.
That's the best part for me.
That's the worst part. God damn.
I love that. That's the best part. That's like why I can't give up Pepsi.
That's like
or any drink.
I remember when I was in acting class, my teacher, Miss Stacy, shout out to Miss Stacy. She told us not to drink pop like Coke or Pepsi because it has the same type of acid that they use to like clean up blood off of highways during car crashes.
You also got to realize proportions when they make assumptions like this.
Yeah, but also like Coca leaves Coke.
It's only called Coca-Cola because it originally started as a medicine because they used to think cocaine was a medicine.
Cocaine can cure anything. If you have a scratch on your forehead, just use some cocaine. If you broke your leg, just use some cocaine.
I will not allude to how I know, but it doesn't. It doesn't.
Well, I mean,
I can guarantee it.
You're just giving yourself away.
We've all done things we regret when we were trashed and partying in high school and college.
Oh my god. You know what's the funniest fucking stand-up special I've ever seen?
Oh, let me finish my euphemism. We all did weird things when we were drunk and partying in college and high school, and now we're a full-blown adult recording a weird-ass podcast while smearing refried beans all over a tortilla to eat. Growth.
Beautiful. But anyway, the funniest stand-up special I've ever seen, it was on This Is Not Happening, and it was Jessa Reed, and her special was called Meth Piss.
Meth Piss?
Meth Piss. So basically, she was a meth addict for many years, and towards the end of her addiction, she figured out, after reading an article, that meth does not break down in your system. So like when you take meth, you're pissing straight meth. So then she thought, I'm pissing liquid gold. I'm just gonna drink my piss and get high from that. So then for years after that, for like a year after that, she would drink her piss because of meth.
I hate that I'm gonna say this, but like in terms of drug addict thinking, that was fucking innovative as hell.
Oh, she did a podcast with Bert Kreischer, and like it's so fucking interesting, like how she thought as a meth addict.
Addicts are wild.
Yeah, like I've listened to that podcast like 5 times, like separate times, and it's still just as fascinating as the first time.
I mean, she could freeze it and sell it to other people.
Yeah, but I don't know. You'd have to be very down the hole if you were a meth addict willing to drink another meth addict's piss.
Don't underestimate a meth addict.
Oh, what I remember in the Bert Kreischer podcast. In the Bert Kreischer podcast, she was talking about how her spirit animal's an owl. And apparently, according to her, back when weed was legal, they would have meth crackheads drive down to Mexico, pick up the weed, and then like drive back to wherever they were, because meth addicts like can just drive for hours and hours and hours.
I don't want to be a meth addict. I've
I don't
decided.
I don't want to be a meth addict either. But anyway, at some point, driving back to where she lived, they found a dead owl just laid on a pillow. And she was like, I need to save this owl because she believed that meth could cure anything. So her plan was to take the owl back to where the weed dealer was and give it crystal meth. And she
I
did.
guess it's like a shot of adrenaline, like when someone passes out and you just go cha-ting.
Oh yeah.
That's how Nikki Sixx lived. What?
I didn't know this either, but apparently according to her, like you know that PCP
Yeah.
where like you
Acid.
drink it out of the bottle cap.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Not that I've like done it
since
or anything.
I've never done it, but
Same.
apparently
Totally same.
apparently it's very easy to overdose on that. So what she would do to make money was she made a deal with the bartenders.
The
If
devil.
somebody overdosed on PCP at that bar, then she would just put a rock of meth under their tongue and then it would like revive them.
What?
I don't know. Apparently that works. Don't I don't know if that actually works, but like it makes
Please don't
sense.
try this at home.
Please don't try this at home. This entire part's just gonna be on Patreon.
Good, I need to blow my nose.
Anyway, so our plan for today was
Nothing.
came up with a list of movies, and some of these are movies that I've seen and she hasn't seen, and then vice versa. So vice versa.
No, I
Vice
just wanted to say
versa.
it like that. I don't know if it's right.
Mamma mia. But basically, we're going to guess what these movies are based on like the title of the movie and like what we know about them.
You know what would also be fun? Have you ever seen like bad descriptions of movies and then you try to figure out what the movie is?
Oh yeah, Pepsi. We're not sponsored by Pepsi.
We both have the same thought. Not sponsored. I'm just thirsty.
You're just a thirsty hoe.
This is how people with ADHD wind down before bed.
Exactly. Nothing like a.
It's actually
good
some
espresso.
real fucking shit. I don't understand that psychology or brain chemistry or what, but it's like stimulants calm us down.
Yeah, it's like I can literally drink a full cup of coffee. Like I remember I once.
You know you have ADHD. What?
I once drank like me and my old roommates walked down to the coffee shop at like 12:30 at night, and just like I got a venti like Oreo cookies and cream frappuccino, and like
with Starbucks that's open all night.
It wasn't a Starbucks; it was a coffee bean, but it was like a cookies and cream with coffee, and I drank the entire thing, and then I just went to bed.
That's how I am. I have like a can of Pepsi before bed, and that's probably a bad thing to do, and I know. That was how I was in school too. I would go and get a fountain drink before I went to bed. But you know you have ADHD when you can take a bump of cocaine and feel like a normal fucking person.
Girl, you're just exposing yourself.
I'll tell you what, like I did it. I mean, my friend did it. And it sucked because I didn't feel what people feel on cocaine. I just felt like a normal goddamn person. I was like, I feel nothing.
I fucking hell.
I just felt normal. Coke. I felt normal, but my face kind of like tingled. That was it.
It was just like, I wasted all this money on this fucking Coke just to feel normal.
My best friend is a fucking crazy person. One time we were just sitting at my house, like watching TV, having some drinks, and she goes, I want to do cocaine. I really liked cocaine. I'm like, you need to fucking stop right now.
See, where the fuck do people find drug dealers? Because like, I went to high school in like a very bougie, like
so
rich,
you gotta know a guy.
A very rich part of Metro Detroit. And like every single fucking weekend, kids had nothing else to do besides like get insanely high and drunk and just party.
Oh, that's how it was around here.
Yeah, that's what you do in the Midwest when there's literally nothing to do in the Midwest.
That's how I describe my hometown to people. I'm like, so what was your town like? It's like, literally, if we weren't like at a basketball game or studying or whatever, like the only thing to do was to have sex and do drugs.
Oh yeah, I remember when I
And
was
I
a
was only doing
freshman.
one of those things. I bet you can guess what it was.
It sounds like you were doing both of those.
No, actually, I was doing drugs. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 18 years old.
Oh wow. But
But I made up for it.
but I remember my freshman year, there was this party going on in my neighborhood, and one of the kids took so much drugs, I think it was like coke or heroin or whatever, that he went completely became a vegetable.
That's not what I was expecting you to say.
Yeah, I think he went into a coma for a little bit and then he turned into a vegetable. And like he can't like move or talk or eat
Is
by
he
himself
still
anymore.
alive, or did they end up like letting him go?
As far as I know, he's still alive. But
This is very dark, and I don't want to dwell on this subject. But in my opinion, if I got to that state of life, let me go. I don't want to
oh
live
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, no. Like my mom is like that too. Like my
Note to my
um
loved ones: let me go. I believe in quality of life over quantity of life.
yeah, like my great aunt, she had a stroke and then she was in a wheelchair for like 15 years, the last 15 years of her life, and she couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So like if that happened to me, just pull the fucking plug. Like inject me with
Yeah.
salt, do whatever you want.
Basically, it's like if I can't feed myself or go to the bathroom by myself, I once I lose bodily autonomy, I don't want to be here anymore.
If I cannot feed myself or wipe my own asshole, then just let me go.
Yeah, I don't. I feel bad for the people. Someone told me this once in school, and it completely like opened my mind when they were like, people usually want these people around for themselves, not for the people that are there. You know?
Like Terry Schiavo, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. I think that was something we were talking about, but just the idea that like the people that want these people to stay alive when they don't want to be alive are like they want them around for them, not for the other person.
Yeah. And
And that kind of blew my mind.
as hard as it is to like let them go, like you're just letting them suffer living like
The thing
five,
is,
ten,
what do
15
people
years.
say when someone lives? They're like, oh, they had a good life, or oh, they're not suffering anymore. They're not in pain anymore. That's what they tell themselves when they die, so why can't they tell themselves that when they're wanting to pass?
Yeah.
Remember when South Park did Terry Schiavo the musical?
Oh my god. I remember
Terry Schiavo!
that.
That's fucked up. I just
That's
remembered that. That's all I think about every time Terry Schiavo is brought up is the Terry Schiavo musical from South Park.
I,
And then in the first graders did a Thanksgiving musical. Didn't one of
oh,
them do Anne Frank?
I would not be surprised in the least bit if one of them did Anne Frank.
It was horribly funny.
Oh my god. Wait, how does it go? Like Terry Schiavo,
Terry Schiavo.
she
Did she just
was
have cancer, or was she a in a vegetative state?
she had a stroke and then she went into like a coma vegetative state and she was like that for 11 years I believe before
What is the PC? Is there a PC way to say that? Because I feel like vegetable is not it anymore.
she was
Brain dead or in a vegetative state.
in a vegetative state.
But yeah, I was just curious if there's a better way to say it.
um
But
i, I don't know.
because that brought up the whole ethical question of doctor assisted suicide.
Yeah, and then I think it was her parents who wanted to like pull the plug on her for a long time and then her husband was just like no, I want her alive.
Oh, I thought that was the opposite. Like, I thought the husband was like, we should let her go. And the parents were like, nah, fam.
Oh no, he
Either
was like
way,
putting up a fight.
gung ho
Yeah.
for my hoe. That was bad. I'm sorry. I
should we
apologize.
should we move on to the movies?
We were talking about drugs, yeah.
Anyway, should I just start on the list of movies?
Ote!
Okay. So the first one on my list is Audrey Rose.
You wanted me to watch this. We tried to watch it. Doesn't a girl get abducted or something? And then, like, the whole movie is trying to find her?
Is that your final guess?
Yes.
No. Basically, it's a reincarnation type movie with Anthony Hopkins where she died in a car accident in a fire in her
Mm-hmm.
past life. And then she was reincarnated as Ivy. And then he found out that Ivy was Audrey Rose. And then throughout Ivy's life, she would have like these nightmares every year on her 11th birthday where she was like in a fire.
Every year on her 11th birthday, she turned 11 every single
Every,
year.
every year on her birthday up until she was 11 because she died at 11. She had
Excuse me.
nightmares about her like being in a fire.
That is not the way to go.
Yeah, no. But and then
Yeah.
I remember there was a scene where they sent her to a fucking convent, and she saw they were having like this big fucking bonfire for some reason, and then she like was staring at the fire, got down on her knees, and started crawling into the fire, and one of the nuns had to like pull her out.
That's scary.
Yeah,
That is legitimately terrifying.
yeah.
Wild. Sorry. I was like holding in my breath. I did not want to heavy breathe into my microphone, but then I ended up doing it. So
Anyway,
Very Shivo.
she what? How the fuck does it go? No,
I don't fucking know. Stop asking me questions.
Oh, that was Family Guy that did the Terry Schiavo song. Remember,
What was that?
it was Stewie. He was doing the play, and then he was the
Yeah.
plug.
Oh no, yeah. Oh my gosh. What did South Park do then? Because they did like a kid musical that was really fucking dark. Maybe that was Anne Frank. I'm not sure.
Oh, they did another one about her too.
I thought so.
Because I remember it came out the same week that
Didn't Stewie also freak out and piss his pants in front of everyone?
yeah.
I thought.
Because he had been Oh, so basically in that episode Kenny was Terry.
Oh yeah. Wasn't Kenny like one of those episodes where like Kenny was dead for more than one episode?
He died like every single episode.
I know, but there were some episodes where they like prolonged his death, like he wasn't alive by the next episode.
Oh yeah. I don't remember like specific episodes, but
like there was a few episodes like that.
Yeah. Anyway, do you want to like popcorn it? Like I ask one and then you ask one?
Sure. The thing is, every single thing that every single one of my favorite movies I have showed to Ava.
Yes.
But perhaps have you heard of The Outsiders?
No, I have not. As far I feel like it was like on the same level as The Giver.
They're both based on novels.
The Outsiders. I have no clue. Is it the one with the where they transformed into animals?
No, I won't. No, it's not.
I give up. I have no clue what it's about.
The Outsiders is based in like the 50s or 60s. Two rival gangs, the poor kids being the greasers, the popular white the popular rich kids being the socias or the socials they call it. And basically the socias just made it like a thing to like go and jump these poor kids like and just beat the shit out of them, so they became their own little gang of greasers, like because they grease their hair back, that's why they call the greasers. And basically one day they picked the wrong time to get to jump two kids, which was the youngest member Pony Boy and the weakest member, not the youngest but the weakest, his name was Johnny. And basically, and he got jumped so bad that like the trauma, he started carrying a huge switchblade with him. So lo and behold, he stabs one of them to death.
Oh.
And of course, being the poor boys that will just be put away no matter what, they go on the lam. And it's actually pretty interesting. And they go on the lam, and they find themselves in this old abandoned church. And they live there for a while. There's a really funny scene where Pony Boy, they bleach his hair and they cut each other's hair off with knives with like the switchblade and like sawed it off, and it was hilarious. It wasn't hilarious, but it was such an interesting scene because there's just a few moments of like wholesomeness where they read Gone with the Wind to each other, and it was really cute. And then one of their like gang members comes and finds them, make sure they're doing okay, takes them for real food. And he's like, I think I want to turn myself in. Maybe if I like if I like confess, they might give me a lighter sentence and it might be okay. And he's like, no, you're not going to do that. And he's like, maybe I should. And then it becomes a whole argument. And then we come back and this church is on fire.
Oh.
And so the fucking Don Quixote over here decides to, they both run in to save children that are in the fucking fire because they left a cigarette on, I think is what happened.
Mhm.
They flicked a cigarette that stayed alive. I don't know, that's still lit. And one of the beams fell and crushed Johnny. He had very severe burns and he broke his back because of it. And he had really severe burns and it was like really painful and he couldn't walk anymore anyways. And of course in the lifestyle they're living in, they're like, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do for this kid in a wheelchair in this kind of environment. Because he also had really shitty parents. Like his parents didn't give two fucks about him, beat the shit out of him. Like his only family was this gang. And then the other kid turned out to be fine. And he only lives with his two brothers because his parents died. So, like, they were, like, worried sick, and they're like, oh, thank God you're okay. Like, oh, my God. And then they ended up having this huge rumble, like, huge fight with the popular kids and the greasers to, like, once and for all, we need to settle this shit. Because you killed one of our guys, and now he's in a fucking hospital. So we are going to avenge him, and, like, we're gonna avenge our bro. And it was like this whole war council bullshit. And so they kick the shit out of each other. And then he ends up passing away anyways. Because of all the injuries he sustained. And it was too much stress on his body. And he just ended up passing. Too much for him.
So,
what?
Is it kind of like a Benvolio and Mercutio type situation?
Yeah, it's very like, it's to learn a lesson. Like, these people... It's very much in the vein of, like, these people didn't have to die if we did things differently.
Okay.
And so the guy who ends up, his name is Dallas. They call him Dally. It was played by Matt Dillon, fun fact.
Oh.
And he basically goes on a tailspin because he was, like, the tough as nails bro, didn't love anybody, but he cared for and loved Johnny. So he basically went on a tailspin, robbed a store with a not loaded gun, just to get ran out into the street and shot down by cops. So it was a big ordeal, but it was kind of in that vein. But it was a really popular book. They made us read it in 8th grade. And a fun fact, I think the author wrote it when she was in 8th grade, like it was an assignment, and it ended up being a book.
Oh.
And yeah, it was like a big part of... Like, we did a bunch of projects on this novel. It was a huge novel study. We read it, watched the movie, made our own versions of the movie, which I hope never surface, because I have no idea where that shit is. But I think I was Johnny Cade. Yeah, I think I played Johnny Cade, which was Ralph Macchio. I played Johnny Cade in my version of The Outsiders.
That was like full fucking circle.
And it's just... Yeah, it's just a big thing on, like, social constructs. And it's just a commentary on we should treat people better, basically. I have the DVD right over here, too.
Ooh, let's see.
For those who don't know, I am quite the collector of random-ass DVDs. I just like movies. Here it is.
Okay.
See... Yeah, these are, like, the famous actors of the day. Like, here's Patrick Swayze, Matt Dillon, Rob Lowe.
Patrick Swayze.
Ralph Macchio, Tom Cruise.
Ooh.
Emilio Estevez.
Emilio!
But, yeah. Diane Lane was also in it.
Oh.
So, yeah, it was very intense. It was a good movie. I was obsessed with it for, like, most of my life. That's how I got into, like, the Karate Kid and stuff. Because for those who don't know me, I get into a tailspin. If I like a movie, I will then look up the Wikipedia and look up the actors. And then I'll start watching movies that the actors have been in. And that leads me to other movies that I like. And it's a huge web.
That was me when I discovered Dev Patel and Taron Egerton.
I love Taron Egerton.
He's so fucking adorable. Like a 5'8" king. Love him.
You know what my favorite fun fact about him is that he has professionally performed I'm Still Standing twice.
Oh, wait, didn't he do it with Elton John?
He did it in Sing, and then he did it in Rocket Man when he was
Oh,
Rocket Man. So it's like the fact that he was able to sing a song professionally in a movie twice is kind of a mind-blowing thing to me.
it's iconic.
Because he was the monkey, he was the gorilla in Sing. So he did I'm Still Standing in that movie,
Yeah.
and then did I'm Still Standing in Rocket Man, which, if we have time after this podcast is over, can we watch Rocket Man? Because now I want to
Yes.
watch Rocket Man.
Yes.
Rocket Man.
Wait, have you ever seen The Kingsman?
No.
Because
Yes? No.
in the second Kingsman, um, there's a scene where the bad guys kidnap Elton John, and then he saves Elton John.
They're like, I heard they're like BFFs now.
They
After
are.
the Elton John movie, they're like buddies.
Yeah, like he performed with Elton John live somewhere.
Is Taryn, is he gay or straight?
He's straight.
Hmm.
He's Welsh.
He's Welsh. What? What else do I have just sitting over here? I have, there's Dodgeball, Now You See Me. That's a good movie.
Oh, that's a good
Fantastic Beasts, The Little Rascals from the 90s, Anastasia, the Hannah Montana movie,
movie. Yes.
Mamma Mia, Thoroughly Modern Millie. A lot of these are DVDs that have been given to me and taken from my family's house when they didn't really care for it.
Didn't
When
appreciate
they
them.
stopped. I never watch DVDs, but I do collect them. They're great centerpieces. They're great. What's the word I'm looking for?
The core.
Yeah, I think I'm going to sneeze.
Bless you.
Oh, you whore. There's nothing I hate worse than that feeling of like having to sneeze and then it goes away because it makes my eyes water and it like burns. And I'm like, I'd rather just fucking sneeze.
Yeah.
Sneeze is like an orgasm to me.
Anyway, my
It just,
turn.
there's a lot of, for me, my sneezes have like a lot of buildup. And then it's like the most satisfying moment ever when it happens.
Anyway, my turn. So, life is beautiful. What do you think it's about based on that?
Based on a vaguely motivating title, I'm sure someone either lost a loved one and or has a terminal illness and has to deal with that and like learn to love life before they die. Learn the meaning of life.
Do you want me to give you a hint?
Doesn't it have that Queen Latifah in it?
No. It's an Italian movie.
365 days?
No, not 365 days.
I want to know what happened to her though. I really hope she didn't die.
I'm pretty sure she died. Don't crush the Pepsi. Don't crush the Pepsi. Crush it. Crush it.
I wasn't going to smash it against my forehead. When am I, a man?
Anyway, would
the
you like
incels typing.
would you like me to reveal to you what it's about?
Yes.
So what's your favorite type of movie? Nazi movie.
Nazi movies!
It's a Nazi movie. Basically. It follows what the fuck is his name? The
Mussolini.
main character. Not Mussolini. It follows the main character. He's played by Roberto Benigni in real life. And then Roberto Benigni. And then his wife actually plays. And then
what do you call a man with a rubber toe?
Roberto.
Roberto.
And then his wife actually plays the love interest, other main character in the movie.
I love when movies do that. I'm not gonna lie. When they cast two married people as love interests, I love when they do that.
Oh yeah, like what they did with Matilda.
Or like they did in Once Upon a Time with Jennifer Goodwin and her husband. I think Josh Dallas. Josh Dallas. I think that's his name. I could be wrong.
But basically, the main character, he's Jewish, and this is like the height of Mussolini, Hitler, and
They got rid of the Jews too.
yeah, Mussolini was, I think he inspired Hitler. I could be wrong, but he was like very anti-Jew,
I don't know. In my
anti-Nazi.
experience, like learning about when you mostly just hear what happens in Europe in terms of like around Germany, like Austria, Germany, Poland, Switzerland, things like that. No one really talks about the other fascist countries in terms of like what they were doing, if that makes sense. Like I don't
Oh
remember the
yeah.
Japanese caring too much about Jewish people specifically.
Yeah. I think they were like the Axis powers, like Germany and Japan
Yeah,
during
it's
that time.
Germany, Japan, and Italy.
Yeah. But yeah, Mussolini was a fucking tyrant. My papa actually remembered before he died seeing him like making his speeches on the balconies when he was the dictator. But um basically he's Jewish and he meets the love interest, aka his wife, and they fall in love, but she's Catholic and also engaged to somebody else. So he starts trying to woo her, and he eventually gets
Woohoo.
her to like fall in love with him, and then they get married. They have a son. Um, Later on, him and his son are taken to a concentration camp because they're Jewish, but the wife is Catholic. So she ends up
Woof.
she after she realizes that her son, and the uncle were all taken to the concentration camp. She went to the train station and was like, "Take me with you. Like I have nothing else." So
Take
they,
me to your leader. Sorry. If you haven't
but
noticed by now, when we're uncomfortable, we make weird
yeah,
jokes.
we make inappropriate jokes. But they take her to the women's concentration camp, and then the uncle, the son, and the main character go to a different concentration camp. And basically, the entire movie is him trying to convince his son that it's a game, like to try to make it less traumatic for him.
That's the
Like
worst.
because he was saying like, "Oh, this isn't we're not in camp. This is a game." And we have to do all these different things in order to win a prize at the end. So then at one point, the all the Nazis children are eating, and he sneaks his son in there to like eat the food with the Nazi children.
Why does this remind me of the boy in the striped pajamas?
It's pretty similar to that.
It's in the same vein where they like keep that crucial information away from them.
Yeah.
It ends
And
up biting Asa Butterfield in the ass.
very much so. But
It's
yeah,
also a great metaphor.
yeah. But the entire movie he's trying to convince him that it's a game. Towards the end of the World War, when like the Nazis have been overthrown, like Hitler killed himself, and like all the Nazis were like burning the fucking papers and like burning all evidence of what they did.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that was wild.
he tried to
Can't burn
escape
down
with
a whole camp.
he took that as an opportunity to try to escape with his son. He gets caught, and the final scene is him like pretending that it's like a game, that he'll be right back, and then he's taken around the corner and shot. And then the very next day the American soldiers come in and take the boy and then bring him to his mother. So yeah, it's a very good movie, but also very sad.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking real quick at how Hitler died because we've had this disagreement before.
He
That
killed himself.
yeah, he killed himself, but no one ever talks about like some say he shot himself. I always thought he maybe this is just because I saw it on what's the word?
Yeah, I thought he shot himself with Ava Braun.
I thought he took cyanide with Ava Braun, but maybe that was just on
Let's see.
oh god, my eyes are getting all
So
watery.
ballistic trauma was his cause of death.
So he shot himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked up. Oh my god, this sneeze
Oh,
is. Oh my lord.
so we're both right. He swallowed cyanide and then shot himself.
So what was the point of doing?
I guess in case like the bullet didn't work, and then he would
Unless it didn't kill him
die.
or something.
Yeah.
Oh God. That just like burned for a second. Like I thought I was gonna sneeze, and then my entire like nose was just on fire, and then my eyes started watering like a bitch, and here I am.
Ugh.
The fucking worst.
Anyway,
Ooh.
what's your next movie?
Um,
Are you looking at your bookshelf?
I sure am. I'm looking at all my DVDs to figure out what you might not have seen.
Would you like me to tell you the list that you gave me?
No, I'm doing this. You know what? How about Grease 2?
Okay. I haven't seen that. I feel like
For
it has
those
to
who
be.
don't know me, I love bad movies.
Oh yeah, she loves Tall Girl. Loves Tall Girl.
Here's I loved Tall Girl. I just like movies that are bad. Like usually the movies I love have horrible reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm just one of those people that is I appreciate all forms of entertainment and comedy, so it's like there's something almost more fun to me of watching a movie that they tried so hard on and still ended up bad. Like it's kind of my own, maybe it sounds kind of cruel, but it's kind of my own brand of comedy watching like how bad a movie can be.
You know what movie was genuinely fucking torturous to watch? The Dirty Dancing remake that you made me watch last night. Like,
What?
first of all, I drank whiskey and cider
We were both on edibles too.
and edibles, so I was fucking out of my mind, high and drunk.
I
Um,
knew she'd hated it, and I was sitting there like listening to how much she hated it while also enjoying it.
from what I remember, I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm also like an eternal optimist because I like if I'm watching a bad movie, I will find like good things about it. So like the Dirty Dancing remake, it's fundamentally not good, but I love Nicole Scherzinger. I love Deborah Messing. I love Katie Seagal. I love whoever the guy was that played Johnny because he was sexy as fuck.
Nicole Scherzinger was the only good thing about that movie.
Not did you see that man? He was ripped.
He wasn't, for me, it was the eyebrows. It was just like, duh, duh. Like
I
that
could go
man,
back to that movie just because of how hot he was.
that man's eyebrows were fucking sculpted. Like,
I'll give you a hint that Grease 2 is in the same vein as Dirty Dancing, the remake, is I
oh my,
only come back for the hot leading actor.
that changes my entire answer.
Dang it.
So, based on that, I assume it's two high school students who get together. Like one's a greaser, one's the popular girl, and
Well, duh.
then obviously it's Grease. They have a very toxic relationship because Grease. Um, and then I assume that he has some kind of competition, and then she decides to help him try and impress him.
You're kind of in the same vein, but it's actually flipped. What happens is Sandy's cousin, British cousin,
Oh my
comes
god.
in as the foreign exchange student to Rydell. And so she sees the pink ladies, and like he's like, "Who's that bitch?" Which is the only one that's not dating the greaser or whatever. So all the pink ladies are. I guess that was a rule, not in the original Grease, but the rule is if you're a pink lady, you have to date one of the T-birds, which is
The greasers.
the greasers. Yeah, that was like a thing that was in the movie. It was kind of funny, but the only one that wasn't because she was dating the leader, and she's like, "Nah, fam." Is actually there's a really funny like little jab at him that like I think is what happened is she wanted to bone and he was like nah because there's this one comment she made that's like yeah me and Johnny broke up there's got to be more to life than just making out and it's like damn girl.
God damn.
So basically in order to impress this girl he like first of all he just tries to like talk to her like do the right thing he even had like a little pamphlet where he's like
Oh.
reading how to like like talk to girls basically. And he like goes in his like little like khakis and shit and tries
Oh
to
my
ask her
god.
out. What ends up happening is they're in a bowling alley and they just won their game. And Johnny was like being a shithead. He's the leader of the T-Birds now, and he's like, "How about first prize? What do I get for that?" And he was basically saying like, "You should kiss me because I won." And she's like, "No." And he's like, "Why not?" And she's like, "You know what? I'll kiss the first guy that walks in there before I kiss you." And guess who's walking in?
The
The
T-Bird
one,
dude.
the only. His name is Michael.
Michael.
She
Clifford?
kisses him. I wish. I fucking wish.
Oh my god.
So she kisses him, and he's like, "Oh, this bitch likes me." And he's like, and then they end up ditching him,
Oh.
and he has this little conversation with the little sister of the pink lady. She's like one of the little sisters, and she's like, the only way you can be cool around here is like to have your own motorcycle and shit. It's so stupid. And she's like, when I'm a pink lady, it's gonna be awesome. And he's like, oh, is that it? So then he starts making money by basically doing all the T-Birds' homework for them. He writes all their papers and does all their homework because he's like a Nobel Prize guy. And like basically they pay him to do this homework. So then he starts raising money to do a motorcycle. And then one day he goes on a date with, her name is Stephanie. Okay, it's Michelle Pfeiffer actually. And so her name is Stephanie, and he ends up getting her out on a date in the restaurant, but it's like he's helping her. He's basically tutoring her because she had to rewrite her whole essay for like English class. And then it's like they almost like each other. You can see it, but then the rules come back in. It's like you can't hang out. And then he ends up building a microphone. Microphone. He ends up building a motorcycle from scratch from like a junkyard.
Ooh.
And becomes this mystery man, and he's like kicking ass. And Stephanie's like, "Who is this bitch?" And then he ends up like, the funniest thing to me is he ends up picking her up, and like he talks in a funny like a Batman type voice, like little lower, little gruffer. And he ends up picking her up and taking her out on a date, and she's still, he keeps his helmet on the whole time.
Oh
Still
my
can't
god.
figure out who it is, and they even make out and everything.
Through the
And
helmet?
what?
Through the helmet?
Yeah, like he had one of those helmets that just covered your eyes. I mean, it was like your head. He never took his helmet off. Or his goggles.
Jesus Christ.
And in the midst of this, they're also getting ready for like a talent show, which doesn't make any sense. But like the whole ending is basically the T-Birds run him off a cliff, and so she thinks he's dead.
Mhm.
And she ends up winning the talent show, which the talent show really has nothing to do with what's happening. And then at the end of the year, it's like instead of the fair that they had in the original Grease, it's called the Kaylani Luau. So they have a
Oh.
luau. And Johnny and Stephanie are like the king and queen.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, the mystery man shows up. Because, do you remember the rival gang from Greece?
Yeah.
They're back, I guess, at some point. It's so jumbled. Like, at some point, they're chasing him around. And, like, they're like, who the fuck is this guy? Yo, fucking embarrass me in front of everyone. Popping wheelies and shit, making me look bad.
Jesus fucking Christ, mate.
And they end up getting into this fight. And all they do is basically, like, all they gotta do is push the bad guys into the pool. And they're out of commission. No more fighting. And, I don't know why I have my hands above my head, but I'm just pulling my sleeves down. But basically he finally reveals himself, and then they fall in love, and he becomes a part of the T-Birds right at the end of the fucking movie and at the end of the year. And when they're all graduating, it's like, yeah, be a T-Bird now after the fact so you can fuck this bitch like once and leave. And it's so funny because the song is like a slower version, but it's called We'll Be Together in the same vein of the original Grease, and it's so funny.
Oh my god.
It's so funny. It's so bad. It's so good. It's so bad.
Oh my god.
It's a cult classic.
Of course
That's
it is.
I'm pretty sure a cult classic is any movie that's fundamentally bad, but people still like it,
Well, I mean,
in my
Dirty
opinion.
Dancing is a cult classic, and that's a very good movie.
The funny thing about Dirty Dancing is there was a lot of like historical discrepancies.
Oh, well, yeah, it's a movie.
Like they didn't have jean shorts in the 60s, and like Lisa did her hair very 80s.
Yeah.
There's a few like discrepancies.
And
What is a cult
also,
classic?
a cult classic is like a movie
I'm
with a cult
Googling it.
following. So like The Room, um The Breakfast Club, Heathers.
I do love The Breakfast Club. A cult film or cult movie, also commonly referred to as a cult classic, is a film that has acquired a cult following, which Crybaby has acquired a cult following, fun fact. I don't know about Grease 2, but Crybaby definitely. Beat it, creep.
It that is such a genuinely like a bad but also good movie, and I don't know how to feel about it.
It's John Waters. It's like he's in on the joke. Like that's how he does everything. It's like fundamentally bad, but it's so like nudge nudge tongue in cheek humor that it's like he knows it is and he's in on the joke and he knows what he's doing. Like if you've
Oh
seen
my
the
God.
original Hairspray, that's just how he does. Or Cha Cha Shoes. That's just like his style. It's very interesting.
I have an
We'll
itch in my ear.
be
Ah.
together. There is a song that's at the bowling alley. Like, you know how a musical is supposed to have like one good dance number and then you're good? Grease
Mhm.
2 has like four.
Oh.
We're talking ridiculous, like out of sight, ridiculous dance numbers. Like pull out all the stops kind of dance numbers, you know?
Like you're the one that I want type.
Yeah. But like for
Jesus.
four different songs.
Jesus.
Which was the first movie, which is like No One Wants to Go Back to School, that song. And then the next song was they were in the bowling alley. And the whole song is just like, we're gonna bowl tonight. And the whole movie is just random characters fucking threatening each other, being like, I'm gonna do better at bowling than you are because it matters if you're good at bowling in this movie, I guess.
Oh Jesus.
I gotta show you this song at least at some point.
We'll watch
Because
it.
Grease 2 is a fucking fever dream.
It sounds like a fever dream from how you're describing it.
Now I want to watch Grease 2 after this. What the fuck is going on?
Well, we already started with Rocket Man, so let's start with Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
Burning down the streets. Da, da, da.
Sometimes I sometimes I don't like good movies. So it's so weird. Sometimes I don't like fundamentally good movies. But I will fuck with bad movies till the day I die.
Yeah, yeah, that's completely your personality.
What is It's like I always hated the idea of a hipster, but live my life as one. Cuz
Oh
I
my
do
God.
things to spite people way too much.
Yeah, well, that's your entire personality.
I mean I'm alive out of spite, honestly. Since
Mm.
the day I was born, cuz when my mom started dating my dad, she was like, "We're not having any more kids. I'm done." Cuz she already had two kids, and my brother was really sick when he was young. So she's like, "I'm not doing that again." Like once my brother grew out of like the first year of life, he got a lot better, but the first year of life they were in and out of hospitals. He had a lot of issues. And so she's like, "I'm not doing that again. If it's my fault, we're not having any more kids." My mom's like, "Hell to the fucking no." And then guess what? 4 years later,
You,
it's your girl.
it's your boy.
It's your boy, skinny penis. That
Hey,
vine will forever stick in my mind.
hey, it's your boy, Pete Davidson.
Uh But I have been living my life in spite since I was a child. Because my mom was like, no more kids. We done. Guess who's here? And I will tell everyone this story. Like, my mom cried when she found out she was pregnant with me because she didn't want another baby like my brother.
Oh my God.
Obviously, there's context to that, like I said, but I will not let my brother forget this, nor anyone else. Nor anyone else. It's like, you want to know a secret? What my mom said before I was born. And then, of course, my dad was not a good dad and was always saying shit like, you're a girl, your opinion doesn't matter. Like, telling me all this shit. I'm like, you know the fuck what? No, not today. So I lived in spite because of that. Like, nah, bitch, just because I'm a lady don't mean my opinion don't matter.
The thing with me was I was inherently a good kid, but
Mm.
I could not like behave to save my life at the same time. Like there was a point in my life where every single year for like 3 years, and the first day of school, I would be called into the principal's office for
It was
like
like, God fucking damn it,
some kind of fuckery. And they never called my parents. I still don't know why they never called my parents. Probably because
That's weird.
they were the shitty principal where Mr. Cram tackled an eighth grader in a
Oh
field.
yeah, you told me you said that story on the podcast, didn't you?
Yeah. I think it was the bonus podcast or the first episode.
Either way, it was pretty legit.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
but yeah,
yeah, I was a little shithead. Oh my god.
apparently I was too. I was very argumentative, but I always remember having a good time at school. But according to my parents, I was a pretty strong-willed.
Oh,
My parents being my mother and my sister, the only people that like legitimately raised me.
oh my, there's two things, the ADHD and also the Aries in me. Like I never know when to give up.
Yeah, I'm a Sagittarius. I am pure fire sign, but I also have a Cancer moon, so I'm very emotional. So like I'm a fucking mess. And yeah, the ADHD and that I was autistic.
And you never knew it.
Yeah, and the thing is I was also too smart for my own good. So it's like I was at the point where I should have been challenged, but like when you see a kid who has discipline issues, you don't see a kid that's smarter than everyone else.
Yeah.
So like I was kind of in that I don't I say this with a grain of salt cuz I don't personally think I'm a smart person. Well, actually I do. I've come to the conclusion that I'm an intelligent person because for a long time I thought I was dumb, but I don't think I am. But yeah, I was in the gifted program for a really long time, and that helped me out a lot. But like for those first couple of years, I was like bored, and I think that was part of it. But I also was just argumentative as fuck.
Literally, like everything you just said was me. Like I would argue with teachers, with classmates, with fucking anybody with a
Oh
pulse.
yeah, I mean my entire home life was arguing. It's all I knew how to understand situations.
Yeah, and then like my parents were always pissed at me growing up because I I am like smart. Like in third, fourth grade, I could read at a 10th grade level.
That's kind of where I was, but the ADHD really set in, and it's like you're so fucking smart, but it's like I couldn't finish the book I was supposed to be reading to save my life. I could not stay entertained long enough to read these books that I should have been reading.
Yeah, like literally, if it doesn't capture my full attention within 5 seconds, I cannot do it.
I
Like,
know.
no.
It's like I only read books that entertained me, and that got me in a pickle because once I got to 5th grade, I had this teacher who like did you have like a color coordinate system?
What do you mean?
Like this certain grade level from this point to this point was like it also had a number system too, but it was based on like colors. So like I think black and lime green, like purple through lime green was like the hardest colors in my school, but like the bottom ones were like red and yellow, and as you got through each level, like it had a different color to show how hard it was.
No, we didn't have that.
Well, we had that as well as a numbered system. So my teacher's like, if you weren't reading in your grade level, and because we took tests to get points from reading these books, you could take a test and get points for it, and then you could like meet a goal and get like a prize or something. And my teacher, if you didn't make it to a certain, like if you didn't read between a certain like point, like if she gave you a color, you had to read from that color. And it went to the point where it's like it had a number of
Mhm.
points. That like if you're like 0.5 off from that number, those points wouldn't count towards your goal.
Oh, okay.
And I read whatever goddamn books I wanted to read in 5th grade. And I made like half of my points because it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm reading what I want to read.
Yeah, like it's fucking
And she did
stupid.
not like that. We butted heads.
Every single fucking teacher in elementary school fucking hated me because like I would always like argue with every single thing. Like it got fucking annoying,
I
honestly.
was either loved or hated. There's no in between.
I had throughout my life
If you
I've
were the
had like
social studies teacher, you probably liked me because I was the history kid. But if
all,
you were the
all
math teacher,
art and theater teachers loved me, but everyone else hated my guts.
I had an English teacher who was the football coach, and he only liked his football players. And the fact that I was one of his favorites pissed me off because I did not like him. But the fact that I was his favorite pissed everyone else off. And it's like, I don't want to be your favorite, bitch. Like, you're the football coach. But it's like, I was good in his class, and we did a lot of literature. So it's like, that was, like, we read Romeo and Juliet, and like, that shit, I love literature in terms of that. Like, I love discussing the big ideas and things like that.
Oh
So
yeah.
he loved me, and he would like try to talk to me, and I'd be like, we're not friends. We're not friends. There's nothing worse than the teacher you hating absolutely loving you. It's
Yeah.
like,
That was me with my fucking math teacher in 11th grade. Like I told him once that I like rock music, and then he like tried to bond me. He like recommended this old 80s punk band that he listened to when he was in
corn.
my grade. And it's just like I don't this no. I don't want you leaving sticky notes of band names on my desk. Please don't.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Oh,
my.
and then you want to know what this man did too?
What?
When my sister went and took his class, he looked at her name and was like, "Your last name's Kerr," and she was like, "Yeah." Are you related to Ava Kerr? And she was like, "Yeah." And he looked at her paper like she wasn't getting a good grade, and then looked at her and was like, "Makes sense."
Ha! No, I always turned in like good work and like wrote pretty good papers. And that was the thing with my comp teacher. I did not like him, but he sure liked me because I turned in good work and like could write really well.
Yeah.
I had one female teacher that I really enjoyed. I did not have a good time with English teachers except my my sophomore English teacher. She was amazing. I loved her. We did a whole thing on banned books and I was so into it. She was so nice, but it was sad because I was in a class with these two guys that were just absolute assholes to her. And I
Oh
thought
my god.
she was the fucking best. And like, there's nothing worse than being in the class that you know the teacher hates.
Yeah.
Because it's like, these two guys are just fucking assholes. Like, I couldn't even, like, could not shut their fucking mouth. And I was like, God damn it, I really like her. Like, she does not deserve this.
Yeah.
It's the worst feeling ever. I
Anyway,
got along with all my history teachers, except for my gov teacher. But he was, like, fresh out of college, and he was, like, a dude bro. So only really liked the dude bros in my class. My gov teacher.
nice.
Meh. I hung out with my music teacher way too fucking much. I was her teacher aide for. Stop it. I know I'm doing it. I keep forgetting. I'm not even high.
Me neither.
I'm actually. We went through this whole podcast sober.
Oh,
You couldn't fucking tell.
Yeah, this is a surprise for Ciara, but I mean, like, I can do shit sober, Ciara.
Yes, I can. I'm doing it right fucking now.
I know, but like, you can, but like, you rarely do.
That's my choice.
I
Bodily
know.
autonomy.
I know.
Pro-choice.
Pro-choice.
But I hung out with my band teacher way too much. I still do because she's now my mentor. But when I was in high school, I was in band with her, and then I had music theory with her, and then I was her aide. And then half of the time I would just go hang out with her when I didn't have any reason to be there. Like, I was on half of my day, because I have 8-hour period days where it's like the same 8 hours every day.
Mhm.
You know, we don't have block schedules or anything like that. So it was like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Every single day you had the same schedule.
Yeah.
Which I personally liked. But, so it was like I spent 4 hours of the day at the music side of the building because it was like isolated from everyone else. Because I had choir 1 hour and then I had 3 other hours with my band teacher. And now she's just my bro because I am working back at my hometown, so she's now like my mentor, and she's my bro.
Nice.
Full circle.
It's a
Even though I keep drawing a
circle
heart.
of life.
And it moves us all.
So
Stop singing. Stop singing.
should we do one more and then move on to Am I the Assholes?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. What do you think the end of the fucking world's about?
I'm guessing it's post-apocalyptic.
Okay.
It's been recommended it to me multiple times. I'm getting a Warm Bodies vibe, but I have the feeling they're both alive. So, like a love story in the midst of the apocalypse.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
No. So basically, the show is about this kid. He's considered like a psychopath. Like he kills a bunch of animals and then he talks about like killing people and like having no emotions. And he meets this girl, Alyssa. And she comes from like a broken home. Her dad left when she was young, and then her
Hey mom, hey dad, when
did
this
this
end?
But her stepfather is a complete fucking douche. Her mom like barely pays attention at all. And at some point he starts becoming friends with Alyssa with the intention to kill her. Keep in mind they met in high school. So they start becoming friends. One day she goes over to him and is just like, I want to run away. Take your dad's. He punches his dad, knocks him out, and then they steal the car, drive away. And they're heading towards like her dad's trailer. So they go through a bunch of shit. They end up stopping at this house that was empty. They camp out there, and the homeowner comes. No, they camp.
I'm sorry.
They camp out there, and then the homeowner comes home, and Alyssa's sleeping in the bed. And James, the main character, is sleeping under the bed. Oh no, he was sleeping beside the bed, and then like when he heard somebody coming, he snuck under the bed. So
I'm surprised he would sleep on the floor for her.
But he comes in, the homeowner, and he tries to Alyssa and sexually assault her.
Why is that his first thought coming home and seeing like a chick in his bed? Like, yeah, let me just.
Well, it's later revealed that he did that a lot. Like, he had pictures of, like, typed up women that he'd, like...
So they just picked the wrong house to go to.
Yes, pretty much. Damn. But as he's trying to assault Alyssa, James comes out from under the bed, stabs the guy in the neck, and he bleeds all over Alyssa. And then she's like, what the fuck? He throws up. And then, like, that's the point where he realized he's not actually a psychopath. He just, like, has a lot of trauma that he needs to work through.
Good for him, I suppose.
And then he eventually starts falling for Alyssa. They make a run for it.
Is this a series?
It's two seasons.
I thought so.
The first season ends, they get to Alyssa's dad's trailer, and the police find them. He tries to make a run for it and then like throws Alyssa back, so like it looks like she was just kidnapped by him.
What a nice guy.
Not pretty nice guy. And then
what a nice guy.
But it ends with him getting shot by the police. And then
sure this isn't The Outsiders?
I've never seen The Outsiders.
I know.
The next season starts with Alyssa getting married to this kid that she doesn't like. Her mom's basically pressuring her to marry him.
Romeo and Juliet?
James eventually finds her, and he's a completely different human because by this point his dad had died, and like he had nobody else in the world.
Wait, then who got shot by the police? I thought it was the guy that she liked.
James got shot by the police, but he only got shot like in his stomach as he was running away. He didn't die. He was just injured. And basically it all looked like Alyssa was kidnapped by him and she got away. So
I need to say this before you go on, but every time you say Alyssa, all I think about is a drag queen named Alyssa Edwards. So all I'm imagining is a drag queen.
But in that season, they start getting close together, and he opens up to her so much, and it's like genuinely fucking like
Aw.
sweet because you can see that he's trying genuinely, and Alyssa is just like, nope, nope, absolutely not. And then
I
they
don't
run
know whose
into,
side I'm on at this point.
you just have to like watch the entire series because it's like heartbreaking throughout it, but
Why would I do that?
because it's still really good.
No,
But
I just mean I was decided to just pull on my nail for fun, and then I.
oh.
Why did I do that? I hate myself.
But in this season, the guy who got killed, the predator who tried to rape Alyssa, his student tries to go after James and Alyssa,
A
and
student? What? What?
like he was her mentor, and
In like murder?
and I don't fucking know. But he was her mentor, and then she joins with them with the intent to kill them, but then everything just gets in the fucking way, and it ends with her going away, and then like James and Alyssa having like a little moment where like she finally like starts to let him in,
Hmm.
and then that's the final season ever.
It's like done.
Yeah, because it was supposed to end with the first season, but then
Damn.
because it was so popular they added the second season.
Not bad. I hate myself for taking this nail off, but
Anyway, am I the assholes?
have you ever seen Ratatouille? No.
Ratatouille. I've seen Ratatouille.
Ratatouille Figaro Magnifico.
The yes, but
As a devil put aside for me. For me.
oh. Walk Alone 4533. Am I the asshole for refusing to apologize to my mother in law after she saw me wearing my underwear?
No.
This happened yesterday morning at 9 in the morning. I, female 33, was in the kitchen eating breakfast wearing my regular underwear. Suddenly, I heard gasping sounds coming towards me. I turned and saw my mother and sister in law yelling about what I was wearing. I was in utter shock and just froze in my seat. My husband was asleep at the time, and he must have heard his mom and sister screaming because he ran downstairs asking what's going on. His mom started ranting loudly about what an inappropriate scene she and her daughter saw. I'm still sitting in shock when my husband started yelling at me to go put something on quickly. I went upstairs while his mom kept yelling after me, calling me shameless and inappropriate. I then heard my husband say, "It won't happen again." I got so mad, I put a coat on and went downstairs and started arguing with my mother in law. I told her she shouldn't have come over without notice, but turns out my husband told her to come over at 9 to discuss a family crisis. My mother in law said I was in the wrong for walking around half naked knowing she has a key, and might show up any minute. I told her it's my home, and she said it's her son's home too. We argued, and my husband told me to knock it off and apologize, but I refused and went back upstairs. Then, after his mom and sister left, he called me childish and inappropriate. I tried to
Shut up.
shut the fuck up, dude. If you didn't want her to walk around, it seems like this is a regular thing that she walks around in her underwear. If he knows that she walks around in her underwear all the time, why not fucking tell her that your mom and sister are coming over?
Yeah, who doesn't tell someone that someone's coming over?
Yeah, like, and why the fuck was he asleep if he was expecting them at 9?
So many questions.
I tried to explain my side, but he said what's done is done, and he promised his mom that I will apologize. But I said I will never apologize, and she's gonna have to wait for decades for that. He got upset and called me disrespectful towards my guests, and mother-in-law was technically a guest, so he's still nagging at me for an apology to his mom via email to get over this. Why the fuck are you emailing your wife? Like, have a fucking conversation, pussy.
Pussy.
Am I the asshole for not apologizing? I'll apologize if it turns out that I'm the asshole here.
No, you're not.
You're not the fucking
First of all, you
asshole.
didn't fucking know anyone was coming, and no one told you. You were more than allowed to walk around in your underwear in your own goddamn house.
Girl, I walk around in my sports bra and fucking underwear all the fucking time when I'm home alone. Like, it's my fucking house.
Yeah, it's like, you had no idea someone was coming?
Girl, you get a new husband. Put him in rice. Do something. Seriously.
Honestly, just unplug him, but don't plug him back in.
Truly.
my opinion. Men ain't shit. At the end of the day, men ain't shit. That just makes me mad. It's like, you're... And the fact that she's like, you're shameless. Meh, meh, meh. Like, you walked in my house without asking. I could call the police on you.
Truly. Okay. So this is a two-parter.
Oh, Lordy.
Am I the asshole for not allowing my family to see my daughter until after they explain why she wet herself?
Okay.
My
I
daughter,
don't have an opinion yet.
my daughter is 7 and autistic, partially verbal. During high stress situations, she goes mute. Anyway, she went to my sister's house all happy on Friday. It was a whole family get together. I had to run and deliver some packages. I was gone for like half an hour. Anyway, when I get back, she was in different clothes and very clearly upset. I asked what happened, and my sister told me she wet herself after she couldn't have a chocolate pop. Now, here's the thing with my girl. She would never wet herself purposely. She has extreme anxiety surrounding her toileting to the point of therapy. I don't know what this anxiety is caused by, but it's pretty severe. She was clearly very distressed, so I just took her home. In the car, she broke down sobbing, but was unable to tell me what happened. As soon as we got home, she took herself upstairs and put a pull-up on. Pull-ups being accessible for her is a recommendation. She has more control over herself and has been super cuddly since. She hasn't been using her AAV devices or signing at all. She has 2 therapists, and she's due to see them both in the next week to see if they'll be able to help me understand what's happened. Family has been awful, my sister mainly, who's still claiming that she was being a brat and is doing this all for attention. Nope.
Something happened.
No girl fucking pisses themselves for attention.
For funsies.
For funsies. No.
No, I know kids, and it's like, they've done things for attention, but I don't know a kid that would piss themselves for funsies.
Yeah, no. I've since told every family member they will not be seeing her or me until the truth has been told, which may be overkill, but I don't think my daughter would want to see anybody anyway. Obviously, this has upset a lot of people, especially those who don't know what happened. I'm standing by my statement. If my sister won't tell me off her own back, pressure from other family members may help her along. I'm slightly concerned I'm being a major ass, though, to those who want to see her and now can't. I'm starting to feel quite bad despite having explained my situation in full.
Sorry.
Am I the ass here?
I'm putting trash in my can so I can throw it away. I'm sorry. No. As a mother, it's your right to say who can and cannot see their child.
Oh, by the way, there was an edit. It's the father, not the mother. That's posted.
As writing the post?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Either way, he has that right.
Yeah.
And something shady had to have happened for the daughter to be acting this way.
My theory is, like, I feel like they might have, like, yelled at her. Like, maybe she asked for something, and then they yelled at her and shamed her, and then she started crying and wet herself. Like, that's the only thing I can think of, logically.
Everyone's getting fucking engaged. Sorry.
Who got engaged?
Another fucking person on my Facebook, and it's like, ugh, over it. So fucking over happiness.
Anyway, here's the update. Hey y'all, first of all, just wanted to say how grateful I am for all the comments I received and was unable to reply to. I appreciate it. First things first, my daughter is okay now. She's talking some, although not much. She's back to using her communication device, though. She had play therapy on Monday, in which some things she acted out were minorly concerning. I apologize for not going into detail. My family had found my account, and I'm trying to protect her privacy. She started talking again that day, too. There was immediate concern between myself and her therapist, who was then conveyed to her second therapist, who she sees on Thursdays. I am happy to say we have answers. On Wednesday, my dad called me. He's been feeling guilty and was desperately trying to figure out what happened. He eventually convinced my mom to get it out of my sister, at which point my sister confirmed that what most you guessed. My girl asked for a Choco Pop, got told no in a yell because my sister was frustrated with food. Kiddo got scared and then realized she had to go to the toilet, but at this point it was nonverbal. She tried to get my sister's attention, who assumed she was after the cake pop, and was yelled at again.
Yep.
The last part is a little messy, but one of the men then yelled at her again, effectively scaring herself into wetting herself. at which point she started crying, and her husband and her cousin went and found my family for her. Everyone who was present basically agreed to not tell me the full truth so I didn't go mad on them.
What?
Throw them in fucking rice, unplug them, and never plug them in again.
That's just like whenever you think, let's not tell them the full story and they'll be okay, it's gonna come out eventually and they're gonna be 1,000 times more pissed. I guarantee you.
I can guarantee you, as mad as you think they're gonna be when you
They're gonna be
tell them the
1,000
truth,
times more when you hide it.
if I'm asking you something, I want the truth. I do not want to hear it from anybody else besides you. That's it. I do not want to hear it from your sisters, brothers, cousins, fucking aunts. I want to hear it from you.
Yeah, and it's also like for a child like this who's nonverbal and can't tell you what happened, that's incredibly important, especially when you don't understand why she's behaving a certain way. It's like you need that information to understand.
Yeah.
I hate compare, but it's kind of like if you traumatize your pet in any way. I don't say that this child is a pet, but the same idea that it's nonverbal, they can't tell you what happened, so you have to guess.
Yeah. It's like with a baby. Like they can't speak words. You just have to assume or guess.
And I don't think it is his mistake at all, but probably just either they need to know more about how to interact with a child with this condition or something.
Yeah.
Or like he just needs to be around at all times. I'm not saying any of this is his fault, but they need some more information on how to interact with a kid like this.
Yeah. I was upset and still haven't open contact with everyone, although my dad did come to see her yesterday and came to therapy with us, which I think helped. The therapy session essentially confirmed what had been said. We're upping her to 2 therapy sessions with that therapist a week. We are trying to gauge if 2 play therapy sessions are needed too, or maybe just lengthening the existing one. I still have not spoken to my sister because I do not believe I would be able to be civil. My dad and I are working to rule out family members that were definitely not involved to hopefully have her see them more, as that's something her therapist recommended.
Honestly, good for the dad. Like, I'm here for this dad right now.
Yeah. Like, this is refreshing, honestly.
Because usually the old guy is, like, so stuck in his ways.
Yeah, it's normally, like, the mom who's, like, has to go all out for the kid, and then it's just refreshing to see, like, a dad, like, getting involved with their daughter.
Oh, yeah. Or just, like, the older dad, too, I'm here for.
Oh, yeah, especially him.
But no, he has... No. That bitch can get fucked.
Absolutely not.
She needs to go, like, maybe if she truly wants to see that child again, he should be like, you're gonna have to take a class or go to therapy with us or something. Because I'm not letting you. Or you're gonna come hang out with us on my terms around me.
Yeah.
Like, I would not leave her alone with this child for a while.
Yeah, no.
But, like I said before, I just think this sister or this whole family could benefit from, like, talks with a therapist, or I don't know if they do classes or anything, but just more experience and advice in handling a child with this condition.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the final update on that one.
Boom, shaka, laka. You have every right as a parent to say certain people can't come around your child.
Yeah, exactly.
So even if I did disagree with it, that's his choice at the end.
Yeah. And, like,
so you can get fucked.
Anyway, I think that is gonna be it for today's podcast.
Sober podcast, yay!
Sober podcast, baby.
I'm sure half of you are, like, bored to tears, but at least it was more coherent.
Yeah, at least
you shared the podcast we tried to do yesterday.
Oh, we didn't make it past 45 minutes. That was awful. Someday. Maybe one of these days.
Thank you for watching the Dirty Dancing Havana Nights recap show.
Thank you for watching Dirty Havana Nights. Yeah. We will see.
Ava just had a seizure. Yeah. Fun fact, Ava's actually a robot. I have no friends and I invented her.
Don't tell them our secret. It's
God.
taken a lot of therapy to get over that I'm not a human.
Then why are you in therapy? Therapy is for humans.
Fuck you. All right. Bye, sprinklerinos.
Stop it. Goodbye.